Alright, Tuesday stream again for set 14, this time on some anime theme support, so let's begin. So we start with the Berucrea support with Affinity Hunter Sipos, which is a grade 2 with tanky power and skills. Auto when discard from deck during your turn or discard from hand with a magic ability from the order zone, aka your grade 2. If you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard Berucrea while you have no cards with this card name on rearguard, you can call this to rearguard, and if you call it at the end turn, put this to soul. Another free superior call, which is very helpful for Berucrea. On top of that, with some soul. With the second skill word, count rearguard, if you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard Berucrea, this card gets the boost ability, which is also very helpful just in case that you call a bunch of non-grade 1s. So already a good new addition for a deck that doesn't really have too many units. And now to Nannaclair with one who Rise Up Paradise Vidia, which is a grade 2 attacking power and skills. Auto, if you're World Stray Garden, your Soul Blast cost is reduced by 1 for this skill. So when placed on rearguard from deck or hand, if your Vanguard is Paradise, cost Soul Blast 1 like a top 10 card to your deck to choose up to 1 Nannaclair or 1 A Bloom in Paradise. From among them, reveal it and put it in your hand, of course, shuffle your deck. Very nice because 1, the deck doesn't really use soul anyway, so even if it does reduce the Soul Blast or not, it doesn't really matter. And 2, just the search for even just a Persona ride or even just the order card is just very helpful. And if you search the order card, well, you get additional draw from it, just because the order card has the additional skill to let you draw. But the second skill makes it even better, where at rearguard cost put the soul into the end turn. When you perform one of the abilities from A Bloom from Paradise, you play both abilities instead, aka the superior call and the crit gaining ability, instead of choosing one. This is just very nice for some extra value for your order card. Even though you got another way to get your crit already, it is still a pretty nice option, especially when you can maximize value. Although it is still unfortunate that this is the only Nannaclair support card, meaning that you can only choose one or the other to get a crit, because both units need to restand and you can only pick one. But regardless, a nice consistency support. And then to Kairi support, starting with Tender Push Pull, which is grade 1 with keep power and skills. Auto, when your other rearguard in the same column as this unit is returned from rearguard to hand, if you have a Vanguard Astistis, cost put this to soul to draw a card. Also nice that you can use this in the early game as well, and it helps solo soul if you need it, so it is a nice option, but you might have better stuff to run than this. And into our last card for set 14, Eyes of Miracle Imantine, which is grade 2 with tank power and skills. Auto, when placed on rearguard from hand other than during battle, or discard from hand for your ride deck for the ride phase, if you have a Mermaid Vanguard, cost either counterblast 1 or range blast 3 to perform one of the following. Search your deck for up to 1 Prism, Pearl, and Twinkle Powder, reveal it, and put it in your hand, of course shuffle your deck, aka your order card. Or if you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard Kairi, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less Mermaid with different name from this unit from hand, and call it to rearguard, and if you call it, you draw a card, which is basically a discard fodder for Kairi, because Kairi is the only one who can pretty much effectively use this. You could technically run this in Mermaid decks, although it's only for the order search, which you can still say is technically generic. But for Kairi herself, it's pretty good as it basically cycles through your deck, and you can actually use this in other than ride phase, in which the last skill is count rearguard during turn if your Vanguard is Mermaid, and if your opponent's Vanguard is at least grade 3 plus 5k power, so 15k attacker on its own. Not much to say here, it's just mainly for the discard or call skill to basically search or cycle through your deck. And finally, to our last card, which is for Festival Collection, Flame of Promise Airmo, which is the Kai edition, and it's the first printing of D-Series Airmo, in which is a grade 1 with keep power and the skills. Auto rearguard at the amount of this unit boosts. If your Vanguard is a Kai icon, cost put the soul to draw a card. Too bad it doesn't include counter charge from it, just like the V1, but oh well. But its purpose is actually for the second skill, because Axe Soul, if your Vanguard is at least a grade 3 Vanguard Kai icon, and your opponent's Vanguard is at least grade 3, cost bind this card into the end turn, your Vanguard's original power becomes 18,000, which essentially in many ways is a power buff to your Vanguard, but at certain matchups like aka delete or shrinking power matchups where it's kind of permanent, changing the power to 18,000 is actually a huge deal. And keep in mind, you're only changing this original power, so meaning all the extra power buffs still apply. It's just too bad that it's only for your turn only and not your opponent's turn, because that would have been a nice defensive turn. But still, good new addition. And then next week we got some Razel and Leo support, and I just really hope we get a new form of Razel, or even just Leo, but more so an ultimate form of Razel that is a Mythage form to defeat the Demon Gab. And so that's it for this wave of anime theme support, except for one essentially. What do you guys think of it? Overall, it's just small support for decks that just really need it, especially for our new Stokea decks, because for some reason Stokea is always one of those that get introduced and then just dies out after. But there's really not much to say here, since everything is really just support for those decks that just need it. And that's really all there is to say. So other than that, that's it for this, and see you next time.